There are two reasons why great dudes who have everything else going for them in their lives nowadays are really struggling with finding beautiful relationships. They're simping and advice from pickup artists. The average guy is pretty much a complete simp. Let's say he likes a girl, but he's afraid to show it. He's afraid to be bold about it. Or he's obsessed about his crush, even though after all the effort he's putting in, she shows zero interest in going out with him. If he starts dating a girl, he's very afraid to lose her because he knows if she breaks up with him, he will have no other options. And because of this, he's very insecure and weak in these relationships. If he keeps up this behavior, when he starts his family, he will sooner or later start despising his wife because of all the freedom he's lost. But no one took his freedom. He simply behaved like a simp because he was afraid to lose a girl because he knew his dating skills are terrible and he would have no other options but this girl. If the woman took his freedom, that's because that was the dating dynamic he set up when they started dating. He took his own freedom. But one day he might hear a charismatic guy talking on YouTube about how all of his dating problems could be solved by becoming an alpha man and learning to pick up women. If he goes down this rabbit hole and actually becomes good at it, he will start getting laid, but he will start seeing women as disposable. He will be living by the rule, it's my way or the highway. And most women will regret sleeping with him. Yes, he'll be getting laid, but connections will be meaningless, toxic, and oftentimes short-lived. The techniques that got him laid are the opposite of what's needed for two healthy people to build a meaningful partnership. Don't get me wrong, most guys who become very good with women will go through this phase. It's completely normal. The problem is they get stuck in this phase. They become sort of extreme. Some become alt-right Russia supporters, others travel the world banging chicks and doing unhealthy amounts of drugs, while in some rare cases they kill themselves. All three of these examples are about very big, very known figures in the day game world. If you've been around long enough, you know who I'm talking about. For most guys, pickup in the long term doesn't lead to abundance, it leads to destruction. Yet I work with many guys who are getting laid, and the relationships they have with women in their lives are so good that these women, even though they might not have been the adventurous and crazy types before, now with these guys are willing to open up sexually, have wild adventures, threesomes, and other great things. Many women actually see them as men who help them open up sexually, build trust in men, and in general be a big positive influence in their lives. Even if the relationship is just casual. And when these guys feel they've had enough adventures, they're easily able to start beautiful relationships with the woman of their dreams. Relationships that not only bring them fulfillment, but also are not limiting their freedom to be themselves. Think about what is your dream lifestyle. Is it banging tons of chicks in New York City and living a proper pickup artist lifestyle? Or maybe it's traveling the world, partying like an animal and having all these wild adventures with women? Or maybe it's build your business, become fit, travel the world, all while you're also having wild adventures with a bunch of girls. Of course, learn to meet and date beautiful women wherever you go, and maybe start a relationship whenever you find someone you really click with. So when you're picking whose advice you're gonna follow about dating, just look at the lifestyle of the coach and the lifestyle of his students and ask yourself, is this the kind of life I want for myself? Because you will absorb much more than just their dating techniques when you're watching their content and hanging out with them. 3-part evolution of a seducer. Average frustrated chump. Everyone starts out as an average frustrated chump or a simp. They're treating girls like princesses, going on countless dates and taking them on expensive dinners, but that's if they're even getting dates. Most of them aren't getting any dates. Bad boy pickup artist. They discover pickup and they stand up against the conventional dating norms. They learn to chat up women, escalate fast, and exactly what to say and do in each situation to get laid. But the bad boy pickup artists overthink the bad boy part. They're doing all the fancy push-pull moves. They use weird techniques like the strawberry fields, the cube, and even Barnum statements. They learn the importance of my way or highway and having a strong frame. They escalate fast, and if the girl doesn't like it, she can essentially fuck off. And it works, but if you think about that, they're like rebellious teenagers. They stood up against the system and they're doing their own thing, and if anyone doesn't like it, fuck you. While this attitude works with younger and inexperienced girls, it completely fails when you meet a girl who's been burned by a guy like that before. That's why my way or the highway attitude will fail as soon as they're trying to start a relationship with any girl who has some self-worth, life experience, and other options. All of this is how you get laid if you don't care about how she feels the next morning, but that's not how you build a connection with someone. The biggest problem is that most guys who get to this phase get stuck here, or if they start a relationship too soon before they've gotten rid of their bad habits, they fall back into the AFC or simp behavior. After polishing the bad boy pickup artist moves, you have two options. You can keep doing the same stuff over and over again, have all of these wild adventures while knowing that there are limitations to the types of women this will work on. Or you can have an aha moment about being bored from doing the same stuff on every day, treating women like trash, and ask yourself, is there another way? And there is. There is another level to this game. Nice bad boy. Although they are the exception, not the norm, most high-level daygamers I hang out with at one point said fuck this to the standard approach to daygame because they knew they can easily get laid. Instead, they started looking for real connections. It's a hard journey because you have to leave most of the PUA rules behind you and start experimenting. And let me tell you, they all learned a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. But turns out, if you stop using all the PUA moves as a high-level daygamer, a weird thing happens. Turns out you can develop empathy, learn to understand how a girl feels, and connect with her on a deeper level. If you know you can get laid with girls easily and because of that you only care about sleeping with women you really click with, two things happen. You don't need to use any fake techniques anymore because you don't really care about how the date ends. Because you are genuine, you're clicking with much more women. You're not playing them anymore, but you're getting laid much more. What's more, you start sleeping with and connecting with women who would have previously rejected you. They would have seen through all of your bullshit because they've been burned before. Now there is a genuine connection. They know you're sort of a bad boy, but well, you're a nice bad boy. This also makes them feel safe being wild with you and exploring their desires. They know they can have fun with you and you won't be a dick to them afterwards. And if you are at a phase in your life where you might start a relationship with one of the girls you're seeing, you already put in very good fundamentals. It's sort of like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The better at it you become, the less fancy techniques you need to use. How simping actually stops you from having casual relationships. There are a few things I still want to talk about, and one of them is simp behavior while you're learning daygame. There are a few more things I want to talk about, and one of them is the problem of simp behavior while you are learning daygame. Buying girls gifts and taking them out on expensive dinners, both of which are completely normal things to do when you're in a relationship with someone, sends the wrong signals if you're looking for something casual. There will come a time, usually after the second time you sleep with a girl, when you have to give her the talk about how she's an amazing girl, but you are in that part of your life when you're not really looking for a monogamous serious relationship. If you were, she would be exactly the type of girl you would like to be with, but you wanted to be honest with this about her to make sure you're both on the same page. Many women will be totally fine with hearing this, but you behaved like you want something more. You set your expectations high, and now she'll be very upset and hurt when she hears this. See how such simple behaviors are actually stopping you from having casual relationships with amazing women. You have to climb out of that first stage, average frustrated chump or simp, to move to the kind of bad boy pickup artist type of thing. You have to learn that, and then eventually you have to understand that it's time to leave that behind, and especially if you're looking for a relationship down the line, you have to move to the third part of becoming the nice bad boy. The guy who actually inspired this podcast episode asked a question when I started talking about all of these things, and he asked, can you skip the bad boy pickup artist part and go straight to phase 3? And the answer is essentially no, because if you have ingrained these kind of simp behaviors, if you start a relationship too soon, it's very likely that you will slide back into your old habits. And this is exactly what happened to this guy. He was being super nice to this girl, buying her gifts, taking her out on expensive dinners. She was expecting so much more. And he became clean about one thing that he kind of lied to her a little bit about, and she was very hurt. It ended in tears, and he definitely learned his lesson. You have to move out of that phase 1, move through phase 2, spend a bit of time there, and then eventually, once you're becoming really good at sleeping with women, you can move to the third phase, the nice bad boy part. Does it mean you can only start a meaningful relationship after fucking around a ton? No, absolutely not. That is only if you're used to putting girls on pedestals, spending money of them, buying them gifts, taking them to expensive dinners, etc. Basically, if you have a history of becoming like a complete simp or AFC, then yes, first you should really get rid of those habits, leave a bit of that bad boy phase, and then maybe evolve to the nice bad boy later, which will make you ready for a relationship. And if instead of spending years learning all of this stuff, you want to quickly move out of the simp phase, go through the bad boy phase, and learn how to become a proper nice bad boy, you can learn all of that by joining a private community and online coaching, which you'll find all the information about by clicking the link in description. That's it for this time. See you in the next podcast episode. Ciao, guys.